You know that feeling, right? That moment you look around your house or your office and it just hits you. You have way more stuff than you have space. It's a problem pretty much everyone runs into, whether it's because of a big life change or, a growing business.
And that's the moment, right there, where the headache starts. Today, we're going to look at how one company in Southeast Texas, Roadrunner Moving Storage, basically built their whole business around solving that one single problem. But here's the twist. They do it for two totally different worlds, your personal life and your company's supply chain.
All right, so let's get into this, because it's a really unique model. Instead of having to find one company for your personal storage and a completely different expert for complicated business logistics, Roadrunner says, hey, why not have one single point of contact for both? It's a pretty interesting way to tackle it.
And here's the thing that's so fascinating. The core problem is exactly the same. It honestly doesn't matter if we're talking about your grandma's antique dining set or 1,000 pallets of inventory for your business. The fundamental issue is identical. All of a sudden, you've got more things than places to put them.
So, let's start with the personal side of this whole equation. What are those moments in life that have you frantically Googling for a storage solution at midnight?
Well, the reasons are things we can all relate to. Maybe you're finally remodeling the kitchen and you need to get your furniture out of the dust and chaos. Or the classic one, you sold your old house, but the new one isn't quite ready. Could be a military deployment, could be just downsizing. Every single one of these creates this urgent need for a safe place for your stuff.
So how is a full-service option different from just renting a storage unit yourself? This slide just nails the key difference, and it all boils down to one word: responsibility. With DIY self-storage, it's all on you. The packing, the heavy lifting, the risk if something breaks. The full-service model, it completely flips that script. They handle everything, and this is the big one. They take on the liability from the second they touch it till the second you get it back.
And look, because they've taken on all that responsibility, their security has to be on another level. We're not just talking about a padlock on a metal door here. We're talking about actual layers of protection, 24/7 surveillance, fire suppression systems, and get this, your belongings are stored inside large, secure wooden vaults, and everything is professionally inventoried. That is a massive step up.
And if you live anywhere in Southeast Texas, you know this next part is a total game changer. The heat and humidity around here can be just absolutely brutal on your things. We're talking warped wooden furniture, rusted electronics, even mold. So the key takeaway here is that in this climate, temperature control isn't some fancy add-on. It is absolutely essential.
Okay, so that's the personal side. Now let's switch gears and see how these same principles get scaled way, way up for the corporate world, where a warehouse is so much more than just a big building to put things in.
This quote just perfectly illustrates that shift in mindset. For a business, a warehouse isn't just this passive cost on a spreadsheet. No, it's an active, dynamic hub that directly affects your efficiency, your customer happiness, and at the end of the day, your bottom line. And because it's so critical, some businesses need more than just a little corner in a shared building. And that's where something called dedicated warehousing comes in. Basically, it means a business gets its very own exclusive space, its own dedicated staff, and its own systems, all of it tailored specifically for their products. You're not competing for resources with anyone else.
So what do you get with that? Well, the benefits are all about control and consistency. You get guaranteed space so you can actually plan for the future. You get customized layouts. And you get access to really powerful software, like a warehouse management system, a WMS, to track every single item. Plus, having certifications like being U.S. military and USDA approved, that can open up a whole new world of contracts.
Now, to pull a service like this off, you need some serious muscle. We're talking about having over 50 loading docks. That kind of capacity is what prevents those logistical traffic jams that can bring an entire supply chain to a screeching halt.
And having that kind of capacity makes advanced strategies like cross-docking possible. The whole idea here is just pure speed. Think of it like a relay race for your cargo. Goods come in on one truck, they get immediately sorted, and they go right back out on another. You're shrinking storage time from days down to just a few hours. It's incredibly efficient.
Now, it's important to understand, these are not casual month-to-month deals. A dedicated warehousing solution, that's a serious strategic partnership. We're typically talking about contracts that last for 2 to 5 years, which gives a business a super stable and predictable foundation they can build on for long-term growth. So, let's bring this all back together. We've looked at two very different situations, right? A family storing precious heirlooms, and a huge corporation managing a global supply chain. So what's the common thread? What ties these two worlds together?
You know, it really boils down to these three core principles. First, having the expertise to understand both the emotional value of your personal things and the massive financial value of corporate inventory. Second, a serious, no-joke commitment to security that can scale from one single vault all the way up to an entire warehouse. And third, having the flexibility to create the perfect solution, whether it's for a specific moment in your life or for a 5-year business plan.
And that really leaves us with this final, really important question. It forces you to think beyond just finding an empty room for your stuff. Is your storage solution just a passive, empty box somewhere? Or is it an active partner that's working to give you security, efficiency, and ultimately peace of mind?
That's a pretty powerful difference when you really think about it. And for anyone in Houston and Southeast Texas trying to answer that question, it seems Roadrunner Moving and Storage is aiming to be that active partner for both your home and your business.